I want to go over the writing assignment with you. People ask me all the time, why do you have your students do a writing assignment in a photography class? Well, I believe that all students do better when they write more. And I also think that learning about photographers and about photography is one of the things that makes people a better photographer. This is the assignment, and I will go over it with you now. And it's really pretty simple in the sense that it's not very long. It's 700 words. That's about a page and a half, and I don't think this is too onerous for any student to handle a page and a half of writing. I do check, though, to make sure that you've done 700 words. You can do more than that, obviously. Don't think that 700 words is where you stop, but it's simple enough just to write a 700-word essay. Now, I'm going to use the Blackboard feature called Safe Assign, and what that will do is it will let me check your work to make sure that you haven't just taken material from another source and pasted it into your document. You're going to have to write with your own words on this. You can cite other sources, that's fine, and I'm sure you've probably had an English class that helped you with that. If you have any issues, I suggest that you contact the Sneed State Library and talk to Mr. Miller or Mr. Bodine. Either one of them can help you with finding references if you need them, and also into how to include those references in your report as a citation. Now, you don't have to overly do this. What I don't want you to do is just to go into Wikipedia and copy a bunch of stuff and paste it in there. Now, on the other hand, we are going to use Wikipedia, and what I want you to do is to use the Wikipedia list of photographers. And this is a page that I will direct you to. Actually, in this document, you're going to use this link right here, and it's going to take you to the proper place. So let's go there now. So here's the Wikipedia list of photographers. Now first, up here, these are all different types of photography, and this might be someplace you want to start. And I'll give you an example here. Let's take sports photography. So if we click on sports photography, we're going to go to the Wikipedia section about sports photography. And this is actually pretty interesting stuff. If you were interested in sports photography, this is just a good overview. This is what Wikipedia is good for. It provides you with a reasonably trustworthy source of information, and it will talk about, for example, equipment that sports photographers use, what kind of cameras, what kind of lenses, that type of thing. And it'll also talk about some of the techniques, some of which you've actually been learning in this class. Now, down here, and not all of the Wikipedia sections will have this, but this one does. So, for example, if we want to find a sports photographer that we're interested in writing this report on, let's click on this guy right here, Bill Frakes. Well, I'm clicking on him because I actually know Bill, and he's a very interesting guy, but he's also a world-class photographer. And here's his information that will get you started. One of the things that Wikipedia is very good for is down at the bottom, you're going to find both references, and some of these might be actually where you're going to go to get stuff, and also some external links. For example, right here is the Bill Frakes area that he has done. So this is his website, and Bill's a very interesting fella, and he doesn't just do sports photography, but he's pretty famous for what he does. I think everybody can identify with that particular shot of Bill's. Like I say, it's not all sports photography. Let's go back to our instructions now. Okay, so you're going to select a photographer. You can use that Wikipedia list, or if you know of a photographer and for some reason they're not on that list, that would be okay. Just send me an email and tell me who you want, and we'll talk about that. That's fine. Here is the structure of what you're going to do. Remember, you're going to do 700 pages. What I want you to do is to use the wiki as a start, but you should find and read your own sources as well. At the end of your paper, this is where you're going to include your sources. You don't need to do more than 2 or 3. I will not count the sources that you put in your citation as part of the 700 words. But this is what the 700 words is supposed to have. You're going to start with 1 or 2 sentences that describe the photographer and the type of photography they became famous for. And that is kind of the nutshell of why this person is an important photographer. Then you're going to say what it was that attracted you and why you selected this photographer. The next section, you can just write a very brief biography. It does not have to be lengthy. In fact, I don't want it to be lengthy because that's not the most important part. Anybody can find out a brief biography. What I want you to focus on is what they contributed to photography. Why are they well known? And then what are you able to take from this photography and apply to your own style as a photographer? So this is really the most important thing here, is what is the contribution of this photographer? What are they well known for? And why you selected them, which we referenced up here, but what you're going to take from learning about this photographer and apply it to your own photography. Now, I want you to include in your paper at least 3 examples of photographs. And you can copy them and from the website you're looking at and then paste them into the document. And I'll show you how to do this right now. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to write my essay about this photographer whose name is Mike Disfarmer. And Disfarmer was a Arkansas photographer who became somewhat famous. He took photographs of just common people in the town of Heber Springs, Arkansas. So this is a very brief description here. And here are some references, and here are some external links. At this point, you've done a little bit of research on Wikipedia, but you're really going to want to use Google and search for more. So here's Mike Disfarmer, and here's all kinds of different websites. And a lot of this is like Amazon Books, for example. Some of these are stories, like here's a New York Times story about Disfarmer that pretty much could tell me everything I need to know. This is a website from a organization that was formed to collect and disseminate some of the Disfarmer photographs. So for example, this is his type of work. And as you can see, these are just kind of average country people, but that's really what's made them fascinating. So if I wanted to use this particular photograph in my essay, what I would do is hover over it and right click and see where it says copy image right here. I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to click on copy image, right click, copy image. Then I'm going to go to my document, and here's my cursor over here. Now I'm going to right click again, and then there it is. Okay. So that's one of the photographs that I would use in my essay that I'm going to submit. I want 2 more of these. They don't have to be real big, but they would be things that would illustrate the style of this particular photographer that you've selected. All right, so let me go back over this again. You go You're going to write 700 words. You go to the Wikipedia list of photographers. On that list, below these different styles of photography, you're going to find the country list. So let's assume that you're going to want to select a photographer from the United States. You certainly don't have to. But see, here are all of these different photographers. Some of them, frankly, I've never heard of. Some of them are indeed famous. But you can kind of pick and choose and select somebody that you think is an interesting person to write a little bit about. Some of them are going to have really significant sections here. Margaret Bourke-White, for example, was an extremely famous photographer, and a lot of her work is very well known. So again, you're going to, if you wanted to use this one, you're going to go to copy image right here, click on that, paste. Okay? So again, go to Wiki, choose your photographer, write 700 words, a couple of sentences saying who the person is and the type of photography they became famous for. Then tell me why you selected this photographer. Don't just say, I thought this photographer's work was interesting. It needs to be a little bit more than that. A very brief biography, just a few sentences. Then this is the important part, why they are known as famous photographers. What did they contribute? And then what are you personally going to take from this and apply it to your own photography? So if you have any questions, please send me a message.